Welcome to Hinkley, California, a small town that you've probably passed by numerous times like us, but never realized its history. At first glance, Hinkley may seem like any other small rural town in America, but beneath its quiet surface lies a story of environmental disaster, corporate negligence, and the fight for justice. Let me ask you this, does Erin Brockovich ring a bell? Today we're diving deep into the story of Hinkley and the now infamous lawsuit against Pacific Gas and Electric Company, or PG&E, over the contamination of this community's water supply. In the 1950s, PG&E established a natural gas compressor station here in Hinkley. The station used a chemical compound called hexavalent chromium, or chromium-6, to prevent rust and corrosion in its cooling towers. The cooling water containing this toxic chemical was stored in unlined ponds, allowing the hexavalent chromium to seep into the soil and eventually the groundwater beneath the town. Over the years, this toxic chemical spread through Hinkley's groundwater, contaminating the water supply that the town's residents depended on for drinking, bathing, and irrigation. Chromium-6 is actually a highly carcinogenic substance when ingested, leading to severe health effects such as respiratory problems, cancer, liver, and kidney damage, and can even cause reproductive issues. For decades, residents of Hinkley unknowingly drank and used this contaminated water, unaware that they were being poisoned. People began to suffer from unexplained illnesses, cancers, organ failures, and even deaths. But no one connected the dots to the water contamination. It wasn't until a legal clerk named Erin Brockovich entered the scene in early 1990s that changed everything. Working for a small law firm, Brockovich came across medical records of Hinkley residents that pointed to an unusually high number of illnesses. Curious, she began investigating and soon discovered the alarming levels of chromium-6 in Hinkley's water supply, courtesy of PG&E's negligence. Her efforts, combined with attorney Ed Masry, would soon unravel one of the largest environmental lawsuits in American history. In 1993, the residents of Hinkley filed a lawsuit against PG&E, claiming the company had not only contaminated their water, but had also misled them about the safety of their drinking water. After years of legal battles, PG&E was forced to settle the case in 1996. Agreeing to pay $333 million to 634 Hinkley residents. At the time, it was the largest settlement of its kind in U.S. history. This legal victory was monumental, and it brought national attention to corporate environmental negligence. But for many of Hinkley's residents, the damage was already done. The contamination left a lasting scar in the town. Families who had lived in Hinkley for generations moved away, unable to trust the water or the land. Property values plummeted, and the population shrank. Today, Hinkley is almost a ghost town, as you can see behind me and around here, with only a small fraction of its original residents remaining. After the settlement, PG&E began a lengthy cleanup process, attempting to remove the chromium-6 from the groundwater. But even today, more than 2 decades later, the town still struggles with the after effects of the contamination. The remediation process is ongoing, and many are skeptical that Hinkley will ever fully recover. Erin Brockovich's role in this case was immortalized in the 2000 film starring Julia Roberts, but the real-life Erin Brockovich continues her work as an environmental advocate, helping communities across the country fight back against corporations responsible for similar toxic contamination. The story of Hinkley is a sobering reminder of the dangers of corporate negligence and the power of a community standing together in the fight for justice. While the lawsuit brought a financial settlement, the true cost of what was lost here in Hinkley can never be fully measured.